What's up, gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. So in this one, we're going to break down a Reddit post from a gentleman that says modern dating feels like a game of who can care less. And that's a very interesting title. And there's a lot of things in this Reddit post that I wanted to break down because it's important for guys to understand, because they feel frustrated with dating feeling like a game for them, basically. That's also the theme of this post. Women play games. I do not understand it. So let's start from the beginning. Sometimes I've noticed more and more in dating is this pattern where some women kind of test guys early on to see if they are serious or relationship material. It's not always blatant, but it can come off as being hot and cold, pulling away to see if he'll chase, flirting with other guys to provoke a reaction, or just giving mixed signals in general. And I get it. A lot of people have been hurt, and testing someone feels like a way to protect yourself or weed out the wrong types. But honestly, this stuff often backfires badly. First of all, in this paragraph, he basically describes that the only women that test you are women that are hurt, women that they're damaged. And of course, that's a pipe dream. All women eventually test. And the more feminine, the more attractive she is, the more that she will test you. That's just part of the course. You cannot get around it. It's not something malicious that she is sitting at home. Let me screw over this guy. Let me test him. No, like she's just, women, they behave according to their feelings. She just does not feel like, let me reach out to him and bombard him with texts. Yeah, that she pulls back as a way to test. That's not her fault. She just feels like that in that moment. And maybe tomorrow or in 2 days, like she feels completely different. That's the way that women are. Women are not logical. You just need to understand that. She pulls back sometimes, and you need to be okay with it. If you have a constant need to have her around you, then there's something wrong. That's very, very, very needy. And also, often in those kind of cases, women, they can pull back because she senses that you're too eager and too needy for her. It's not her fault. She just doesn't feel it. We cannot change women's nature. That's just never going to happen. Women test all men. You cannot get around it. Totally normal behavior. It's not because she is damaged goods. So most guys can sense when they are being tested, and even if they don't call it out directly, it triggers a kind of emotional distance. A lot of guys just quietly shift gears. They stop showing vulnerability or deeper interest, but they don't necessarily cut things off completely either. Instead, they kind of coast along just enough to keep things physically going, even though they checked out emotionally. You should not show vulnerability to begin with, whatever that means. Often that means for guys to tell them all of the trauma, all of the things that hurt them in the past. Like, you shouldn't do that on dates, especially in the beginning in the dating process. You should just show that you're a fun guy to be around, a guy that's rock solid. If you're showing vulnerability, she's going to get turned off. That's the way it is. Women look for strength in a man. And then a lot of guys, they're going to be saying in the comments, if she doesn't want to listen to my feelings, then I don't want to date her. Then you need to look for a therapist. That's the best thing that I can recommend you. Because you need to have your emotional issues solved to such a degree that you don't feel the need to tell all of these emotional things to women. Let's say if you've been hurt in the past, yeah, she asks about it. How was like this and this stuff in your childhood? You say, yeah, like it was like this, but I overcame it with blah, 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 X, Y, Z. Because then you show that you're a guy that can go through adversity, a guy that is strong. A lot of guys, they just haven't dealt with that personally. And that's why they look for women to solve their problems. And you shouldn't do that because that turns them off. And that makes them run away from you. And here's the twist. This ends up reinforcing the exact fear that caused the test in the first place. The woman ends up thinking, see, he was only after one thing. Without realizing her behavior may have pushed him into that emotionally detached space. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Then you end up with the usual complaints like, why are all men afraid of commitment? But there's no reflection of how the dynamic may have contributed to that outcome. He basically describes women they test because they are fearful. No, it's not because they are fearful. That's just how attraction works. She pulls back from time to time. That can actually help you because she does not fall in love and start to grow feelings towards you when you're watching Netflix together with her and when you're spending time with her all the time. She starts to become attached to you. She starts to become emotionally involved with you the moment that you're not with her. That she is sitting at home and she is wondering what you're doing, reminiscing all of these great moments that you've had together. That's when she starts to grow feelings towards you. But what most guys do, they just end up spending so much time with women day after day. They meet a girl, and 2 weeks later, they're basically glued to each other. 3, 4, 5 days, they're spending time together. That's terrible. And then someone can say she pulls back and it's because she's fearful. No, it's not because she's fearful. It's because you're needy and you're spending too much time with her. She has the impression that you're a guy that's unemployed, a guy that has nothing going on in his life. That's why she is pulling back. You came off too strong, too eager, too needy. That's why, especially in the beginning, you see a woman only once per week at max. And then gradually you build it up over time when she earns it. There should always be limits. But most guys, they don't have a limit with women. If the woman tells you, like, I want to spend 7 days of the week with you, then most guys, they say, hell yes, let's do it. And then they wonder why women lose attraction for them. Well, it's because of that. So again, it's not her fault. Women are the most happy and they become the most attached to you when there's always something that she wants to move towards. I want to spend more time with him. Instead of 2 days, I want 3 days per week. And then she starts asking you, I want to spend more time with you. And the moment that you don't give it to her, then she is the one that is chasing. And then she feels good. She might think in that moment she does not feel good, but that's just how psychology works. We always want to have what we cannot have. And especially women. It's frustrating because a lot of these situations, they could actually become solid relationships if both people were just more upfront and stop trying to outmaneuver each other emotionally. If you feel like you need to constantly test someone to see if they are worth it, then either you don't trust yourself or you're not actually ready to connect in a real way. And on the flip side, if a guy who sees you're being toyed with or manipulated, don't just play along for the bedroom action and check out emotionally. That just creates more resentment and confusion down the line. The underlying presumption is women test and that's something malicious or they are damaged goods, which it's not. Being upfront, that's not how women communicate. Women communicate with feelings. Men, we are direct. I tell you, let's do this, and then we are going to do it. Women, they are not like this, especially with their dating choices. Of course, women, they can be logical. When it comes to dating, it's all emotion for them. He needs to understand that women, they need time. Most guys, they are not patient. Another theme that comes along in these kind of posts. Guys, they don't have patience. 1, 2 weeks of seeing a girl and they're already spending 5 days a week with her. That should come up over time. It takes months for a woman to start having loving feelings towards you. Not just a few days or a few weeks, like what most guys think. 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, could be 12 months even sometimes. Guys need to have patience with women. At the end of the day, dating already comes with enough uncertainty. The last thing we need is to turn it into a game of who cares less. If you actually want real connection, drop games, say what you want, mean what you say, and be okay with being vulnerable. Otherwise, you're just stuck in an endless loop of mistrust and have relationships that go nowhere. That sounds really good. Like, it would be amazing if women just stop with the games. But that's not how attraction works for women. If you ask this to them, that's like asking to a guy, there's like some 300-pound land whale of a woman like walking down the street, go sleep with her. That's basically what you're asking when you say this. Because she's not attracted to it. For women, it's all psychological. You just need to learn how to play the game. That's it. Because that's how women are wired. Also, if you keep going on with this mindset, you're just going to struggle throughout your dating life. It's just going to be frustrating experience after frustrating experience, and you will never know why. Because I know that behind this post, there is a lot of things that he is doing that he is not aware that he's making these mistakes, that he's spending too much time with women, that he is coming off needy in a certain way, that he is texting too much. All of it shows that his interest towards her is higher than her interest towards him. And the moment that he starts to understand the psychology behind it, the moment that he starts to understand what kind of behaviors cause her to want to pull back, for her to lose interest in him, then he could have the kind of relationships that he would really want. But then he needs to get over the mindset, women, they're only playing games. Women that test, they are damaged goods. Because they are not. All women do this. Yeah. Guys need to take responsibility and say, hey, you know what? I can learn so much from this. I can learn so much about women, about psychology, about the way that women operate, understanding for, and then have understanding for women. Also, guys that with these kind of mindset, they end up becoming bitter. And that's just very sad because they hope to get something from a woman that she can never give to him. So that's it, guys. If you guys want to learn more about attraction, dating dynamics, and this is so important, understanding this type of stuff, that could be the difference between having a loving relationship and the one that ends in 2 or 3 weeks. So if you guys want to learn more about attraction dynamics, then subscribe to the channel. And if you guys want to fix your dating life very quickly, then feel free to book a call with me with the link in the bio. And then we can talk about how to get your dating life together in the next few months together. That's it, guys. Peace.